A report this morning says 42,000 Australian families are living in energy poverty. Low-income families, pensioners and Indigenous Australians are hardest hit by rises in energy costs, with electricity and gas bills now eating up 12% of their household budget. The new figures come after energy giant AGL rejected federal government request to extend the life of its coal-fired Liddell power plant in the New South Wales Hunter Valley. It will instead increase its focus on green energy initiatives. Is that right? The right thing to do? Joining us from Canberra is Ben Oquist, the Executive Director of the Australia Institute. Ben, good morning to you. What do you think? Would extending the life of the Liddell plant reduce the number of families living in energy poverty by cutting energy costs?
No, it will do the opposite. This is a sensible business decision from AGL. And the maths are simple. They calculated to keep Liddell open for 5 years, it would cost an extra $920, close to $1 million, close to $1 billion. Or they could spend $1.3 billion and have an asset that would last 15 to 30 years, not an extra 5 years. And the maths are simple. That's going to decrease power prices by 20% for consumers and provide more reliable energy into the future. And of course, less polluting. It's a win-win-win decision for AGL and the planet.
Hang on, our politicians are saying renewable energy is unreliable and we need traditional coal-fired plants to form the foundation and the base for our power supplies. So you're saying the politicians are wrong?
Yeah, it's misdirected. The Australia Institute had research out just last week showing that actually coal and fossil fuels fail in the heat. During that peak demand period last summer in February, where we had blackouts in South Australia and load shedding in New South Wales, some 14% of coal and gas generation was not available at those peak times. So when it's very hot, when we most need that electricity, when people are turning on their air conditioners, coal has been failing.
And we've been told the opposite, though. Like the South Australian government has absolutely been crucified for its renewable energy policy, for example, causing blackouts.
Well, now we know the opposite is true. We know not just from the Australia Institute's research, but from AGL, a coal company itself. Coal is getting out of coal because it's more expensive and it's not reliable in the heat. When we have that peak demand period, when people are turning on the power in summer, coal and gas increasingly fail. We need a modern, smart electricity grid based on renewables, based on storage, whose price is coming down. Now, that price drop of solar, of wind, into the future solar thermal, means that we can have it all. We can have a smart grid with less pollution and lower prices.
Well, why would federal politicians lie to us on this?
Well, I think our politics hasn't caught up with our economics. And that's the danger. While business is moving ahead in leaps and bounds, getting out of coal, whether it's Liddell in the Hunter Valley or that controversial Adani mine finding it difficult to get finance in Queensland, while business is moving ahead, some of our politicians haven't caught up. And it's not all of them, it's some of them haven't caught up with this direction. And the only thing that could hold us back, actually, is bad politics, not letting the smart, new, renewable energy-based grid with storage, with demand response and demand management drive down prices and increase reliability.
All right. OK, Ben, appreciate your time. Thank you for that.